Hello, this is a test of what it sounds like when you do a voice recording with headphones. I guess I'll listen to season if you will. I have no idea if this is going to work, if any of this is being recorded, or if I'm just speaking into the ether of the universe. Currently walking, not on a bridge, but Park Avenue. Middle of the day. Got out early for, I got classes. Only classes, which is nice. Now, normally, I'd be doing this on a bridge, so there'd be some different sounds, definitely. A lot more cars. Definitely wouldn't have to worry about walking and trying to figure out intersections. Walking across the street, sidewalks, jaywalking, whatever. So it's not necessarily going to sound the same then when I actually started compared to now. Who knows, it might come out clear, or like I said, none of this might be recording at all, and no one will ever hear what we say. I like to think that what I'm saying didn't get lost. It's a good thing to think about, I guess. It's actually going to be fun trying to talk for 20 minutes straight. For those who know me, I'm not a very good talker. I guess, depends when people get me off. That's my case. A talker. Maybe. It's a weird thing to think about, just talking for 20 minutes straight. I don't have a script in front of me. I don't have my phone out, lines, or anything really thought out ahead of time. Maybe I'll have a certain idea of what I want to be talking about, but for the most part, I'm just off the cuff. This is just a lot of random stuff going to happen. It's like right now, I have no idea what I'm going to say next. It's exhilarating and frightening at the same time, especially considering that people will actually be hearing it. Or not. I'm sure I'll have that all figured out by like episode 3 or 4. This is exciting. To kick off something brand new. I never thought I would do. Not really that big of a podcast guy myself, if only because when listening to people talking, it's sometimes hard for me to really follow for an extended period of time. I have a conversation with people, but when it comes to listening to podcasts, just paying attention to people talking any given amount of time, like let's say it's a 20-minute podcast, sometimes could be difficult to keep attention the whole time, especially when I first started walking to work. I tried listening to podcasts as something a little bit different than, let's say, music, and I could catch most stuff, but then there'd be like a 30-second interval where totally was not paying attention, was trying to look out for traffic, making sure I didn't get hit by a car. And then I'd tune in and realize, oh no, I missed some very important information. And, yeah, I still enjoyed that experience, but it was difficult to really stay in the moment. I guess it's contrasted by the fact that nowadays my favorite way to take in a baseball game is via the radio, which is almost like a 3-hour long podcast. And there too will be times when I'm listening to a baseball game. My attention will ebb and flow. I might lose track of things for a moment, but I guess the difference is that the story of a baseball game is different than the story of someone was wrongfully accused of murder or one of my favorite podcasts to listen to is Welcome to Night Vale, which is just a whole series of short vignettes about a town in the middle of the desert. They're fun little things, but then you lose attention for 30 seconds, you miss one key detail, or you miss some cool part of the story that may or may not come back for 10, 20 episodes later. Whereas with a baseball game, you can lose track, in between batters or even during an at bat. But generally, the story stays the same. It's very easy to catch up again if you missed a guy who got a hit or a strikeout. It's after a while you kind of get, okay, I missed that, but based off of everything else that's going on, I get an idea of what's going on. That's just something that's the difference between me listening to podcasts and the radio. Long story short, I guess I was never really one for podcasts. But now here I am going to try to make my own. I know that most times podcasts I've seen podcasts, shows, dialogues, and equipment, they record things ahead of time. None of that here. Like I said, just the headphones that I'm currently wearing around my head. And also their headphones, which have microphones in them. Really cool technology these days. And who knows if this is even working? Again, I should probably stop saying that. I'll probably jinx myself if I say it too often that it's not going to work. So, I guess that's probably enough of a test. Granted, the walk over the bridge generally takes around, when I've measured it, when I've been walking at a brisk pace, around 21 minutes. I could, if I wanted to, calculate the average. I have recorded the time several times over, kind of from my own way to see how fast it takes me to get to work. And I'll do it by how long it takes me to get from my apartment to the bridge, over the bridge, and then from the bridge to the office. So I have very detailed data when it comes to how long it takes. But I imagine I'm going to be walking at a leisurely pace that I'm not going to A, be sweating, or B, be huffing and puffing while I'm doing these sorts of recordings. It'll probably take maybe 23, 24 minutes, and that'll be roughly about the time it takes to do an episode. I'll figure out if I'll ever do anything fun, like bring on guests or interview people like past on the bridge. There are some interesting people I've seen several times repeatedly. And some of you probably, and I'm sure, will hear it once I actually start this. There's a woman who, on the bridge, will start. I can only imagine it's opera. She starts belting at the top of her lungs, and I give her credit. She has the bravery to just go out there in the middle of the city and sing. She's an incredible person. She obviously is going through a day job. I've even seen her going back. If I've ever walked back to work, sometimes I'll see her on the way back over the bridge. She's walking her bike all the time. And she's walking, she just walks her bike up the incline and rides down. She gets on her bike like halfway through the bridge, but on the way up, just keeps belting her. I'm like, boy, that's great for her, but I'm sure that'd be an interesting interview. But yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen. Kind of weird, especially if I go with these headphones, since they're over the ear. Not necessarily conducive for interviewing people. I don't want that to, like, almost whispering in my ear. But yeah, there should be a lot of fun things planned. And I hope that people find it interesting, that I find it interesting, that this is a project that'll make people happy. Yeah. On that note, was a pleasure talking with you as I walk from the ophthalmologist to the gym. And I hope to see you soon.